we're certainly not getting these memories in order that they happened. So I ask your forgiveness for that, but enjoy it anyway. When we lived in Natarita, Colorado, Bruce was our, what's the word for it? He was just a friendly kid. And you definitely made friends with many older people. In fact, it wasn't unusual for me to go to the grocery store or out in public, and somebody would come up to me because they'd heard me talking and figured out who I was, and they'd come up to me and say, "I'm so glad to meet you. Are you Bruce's mother?" Because he'd go visit with everybody. Well, one day we decided to go to the store, and I thought I'd take the kids with us and we'd go get ice cream cones. And so Shirley and James called and come right away, but Bruce wasn't to be found anywhere. We could not find him. And of course, we drove around the neighborhood, and we would stop people and ask them, "Have you seen Bruce?" Nobody had seen Bruce. And it started to be worrisome because several hours had gone by. And so we said a prayer that we'd be able to find Bruce. I thought, Jamie and I discussed it, and we thought we better probably call the police, and so the neighbors would all realize that they needed to get out and help us look for him. And just as I was picking up the phone to call, why, this man came knocking on the door. And I answered the door, and I didn't really recognize him. Didn't know who he was. But he said, "How you doing?" And I said, "Well, come on in, we're okay." And he said, "Are you missing somebody in your family? Are you missing a little boy?" And I said, "We certainly are. We've been looking for him." And he kind of laughed and told me who he was, that he was the minister of the church just above our house. And that Bruce had been there visiting him. See, I told you he visits everybody. And he said that we decided to go to the bank, which was in 30 miles away in Norwood, and of course they had lunch and just made a little, they went shopping at their grocery store, and he said when we got home we was putting our groceries away, and I realized I could hear something, but I didn't know what it was, so he went looking around, and he found this little son of mine, Bruce, asleep behind the chair that he had been sitting in. And so Bruce was asleep in their house, and we were looking all over for him. And maybe you think it's a coincidence that we said a prayer, and then and then our neighbor came and said, "I know where he is." And so what was funny, he was still asleep behind the chair. And he said, "Well, you can leave him asleep there till he wakes up if you want to." But of course, I didn't want to. I marched right up to his house and brought Bruce home. Always pray about what bothers you. Bruce, that was so funny. And of course, your mother was embarrassed.
Yeah.
Yeah.